Hey guys, during this video I'll go over my current stack as it was asked in a comment that I saw. So I'm taking a number of things for just to help fight off fatigue, like adaptogens. So adaptogens help with stress, fighting off stress or building up stress resilience. So there are more nootropics that I would be taking. Some of them I'm waiting for them to be shipped. Some of them just haven't gotten around to ordering. But as of right now, I'm taking Racetams, Noopept, lion's mane, bacopa, rhodiola, green tea extract, alpha GPC, and I take L-tyrosine. I don't know if you'd categorize that as a nootropic. Just depends. I mean, there's supplements, there's nootropics, there's drugs, right? Green tea extract, if you'd call that nootropic, vitamin D, and fish oil. Although I don't take too much fish oil, like I just take maybe 2 grams of it per day. It's something about fish oil is it's like a blood thinner. Same with egg yolks. You eat too much of them, and you can get nosebleeds, and that's been my experience. So I'm careful with them. My stack is used for kind of my work right now, what I'm looking to do. If I was doing something more learning intensive or a different type of task, I would be taking either more stuff, less stuff. So it really just depends. There's no kind of like perfect stack that everybody should really be taking. And like me, I've been taking nootropics for about 8 years. So once you like, the more you cycle on and off things, the more you can kind of tell what does what. So it kind of depends how you want to go about it. Some people would just try, taking one nootropic at a time for like 3 to 6 months, right? And just to see if something works. Whereas some people will just mix everything together and then sort of take out something one by one. And yeah, it's just interesting how the placebo effect works. Like I know for a fact there's some things which just don't work on me and they work really well on other people. But there's some things which, I can certainly feel. Like, for example, I can't feel the effects of Aniracetam as strongly as other people do. Oxiracetam I can't feel as much as like Pramiracetam, whereas most people, they notice Oxiracetam more. Something which I really like, one of my favorite nootropics, is still rhodiola. And that, I would say, is the one nootropic you can kind of take regardless of what you're doing. It just helps fight off fatigue. I made another video on this. I really like the stuff. I can't imagine going off of it. For somebody who, like me, I really just don't like the feeling of stress. I notice when it kicks in, and I take my rhodiola halfway through the day. I just feel good afterwards. Bacopa, kind of same thing, but it's a bit questionable. A lot of people do feel a little bit sedated when they're on it. They lose a bit of motivation. But of the things in this stack, I say everyone should definitely try out is rhodiola, Noopept, alpha GPC, just for cognitive health, right? And all three of those are very affordable. So that's my current stack. I take those twice a day. I'd recommend you do buy like a milligram scale, because that way you can dose it. Not only is it more affordable if you can do it yourself, but you'll just know how much to take. Like, for example, something like Noopept, right? Some of the pills have like 30, 40, 50 milligrams per, whereas Noopept shouldn't. Noopept is something that if you take under the tongue, you only need to take like 5-10 milligrams, but in the pill form, it's known to just not have the same effects. So overall, like, these things are something to implement after you do after you really have everything fine-tuned, like your diet, just hydrating, getting your exercise in, and then beyond that are things like meditation and mindfulness. But again, I want to really just reinforce the fact that diet and exercise are so much more powerful than nootropics, as well as, of course, good sleep, right? So the great thing about this stack is it won't interfere with your sleep, with the exception of rhodiola and maybe Noopept. So you may still get your sleep if you take them within a few hours of sleeping, but you may not hit like those really deep levels, that deep sleep, like that REM sleep you want. Caffeine is something, of course, I take. I don't know if you'd consider that a nootropic. I take 300 to 400 milligrams per day. I typically like taking it pre-workout, and then sometimes I'll take a little bit after my workout. So that's that. Again, there's other stuff that I would be taking if I had them. You know, like the Racetams, for example, I would probably be taking C-Max if I had it in stock. And then there's the, you know, the stuff which isn't really in my stack that I'll use on like a case-by-case basis. Like if I have a really intense day, or if I'm a bit sleep deprived, those are the days where I will kick in things like caffeine and L-theanine, a little bit more of that. I kick in things like modafinil, armodafinil, adrafinil, and phenylparacetam, which I really, really like, that we've talked about before. So overall, pretty affordable stack. I'd recommend that, again, you do just buy like a milligram scale, because it may sound strange at the beginning, but it's really just does make everything so much affordable and so much easier, because you can buy powders in bulk, and you know, buying the capsules, it's not only more expensive, but it's just you won't know what's working because the dosages are just so high on all of them, or sometimes they're just low, right? And there's fillers and other things, right? So where to buy them? Smart Powders is a really good source. Some of the stuff like some of the stuff you can even find on bodybuilding.com, Amazon, although I don't buy many nootropics from Amazon. Where else? Nootropics Depot, that's a good one. They have most products. It's not really been my experience that any of the websites are that superior to one another, to each other. Like, the prices all seem to be the same. Shipping costs all seem to be the same. They're all pretty much high quality. I would just recommend, if you do have a bad experience, then look online and see if you can contact their customer service. But let me know how it goes. That's my stack. I hope that was helpful. I could go over the dosages, but that would just make this video really long. I typically take like the advised dosages for everything except for alpha GPC. I dose that maybe 2-3 times more, because for whatever reason the stuff just works well for me. And alpha GPC, it's supposedly a nootropic that if you take too much of it or too little of it, it can cause brain fog. That's really been reported a lot, but for me, taking too much of it has never been a detriment, really. It's never kind of worked negatively that way. So I hope that was helpful, guys. As always, if there's a video, if there's a nootropic you'd like me to review in a future video, just let me know. Again, make sure you hit your workouts, get your diet in check, watch your sugar intake, all that stuff. As far as exercise is concerned, just don't overdo it. I can cover that if that would be helpful, but most of the research has found, like from a cognitive perspective, that cardiovascular exercise is more effective than weight training, although this is something which hasn't really been researched too extensively. They're finding that some of the advantages of like weightlifting it's really on a case-by-case basis, because something that weightlifting can do is it can raise testosterone, whereas cardiovascular exercise isn't going to really do that. So it depends on things like how overweight you are, right? Like what your physical fitness is like and stuff. And yeah, talk to you guys next time.